And I do have a guest in the studio now. And had we not actually had that thing set up with Kevin this morning, I would have done a better job of telling you about this, so you could have marked it down and told everybody. But I'm just going to go ahead and we're the Kings of Wing here at the old Radio Ranch. There are people here who are professionals and who do plan and who do, make a big deal out of making sure that things are on their calendar and their day planner, and they promote it and they Facebook it. That ain't me. So being the King of Wing here, I'm just going to ask my guest to introduce herself, reintroduce herself to the listening public, and tell everybody what's going on. Hi.
Hey, Jeff. How are you doing?
I'm lovely.
Well, it's so good to see you and to be in the studio this morning with Shafer. Shafer, can you say hello to everybody?
Hello.
Hello, Shafer. How are you doing today?
Good.
I'm so glad you look good. You sound good. You smell good. I think you got a good day going today. All right. Well, talk to me now. Now, who are you?
Oh, Jada Daves.
Jada Daves.
We've been around quite some time. You've had me on several times, Jeff. Thank you so much. It's been a few years since I had Positive Talk right here in the studio.
That's absolutely true.
Saturday mornings, we had about a 2-year run with guests like myself that have something really positive to share.
And we needed that, too, to balance out all the negative talk.
That's
which we just tend to always go to, being human beings the way that we are.
We do, Jeff. And, it's one of those things that this is very personal to me because it's my son, but we've been having a very exciting 5-week celebration in town to celebrate what we're calling celebrating life, family, and Shafer. Most of you probably heard our story. I'm sitting here with tons of media, Jeff. Back in September 9th of 2012 is the Times Free Press.
Let me see. I remember this.
Big front page Sunday story, and then it was the entire double insert in the middle. Huge story. That was sharing how we were doing after Shafer's transplant. Jeff.
It's always cool to look back and do a just kind of a time machine, Mr. Peabody's Wayback Machine, and go back and grab a newspaper and not just the topic that you're talking about, but just look in general at things that we were talking about. And it was front page of the Sunday paper. Please, Lord, not today. Family lives life knowing that the next health crisis could come at any time. They just pray that this won't be the day. And it was talking about the young man sitting across from me here, Shafer Daves, and some of the problems that he has gone through. And they're pretty egregious. They're pretty egregious.
They are. The big headline that went on the satellite, Jeff, to CNN, USA Today, was this headline here on one of the papers that said, "Mom gives life to son twice." So I had the privilege of providing a kidney for him when he was 20 months old.
Not only did you birth him.
Yes, but then gave one of my vital organs when he lost his because they were becoming cancerous. Shafer has a very, very rare syndrome, Jeff, called Dennis-Drash syndrome. And with that comes kidney failure, kidney loss, multiple types of cancer. It's a lifetime of treatment. There is no cure. We have 29 doses of medicine and boluses a day. He's on a feeding tube at night. And then to see this little miracle sitting right here.
He
Jeff,
looks like he's in perfectly fine condition. He looks like he could go out and be playing soccer right now.
I know. Now, Shafer, you played on your basketball team this year, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that?
Yes.
What's your specialty? Do you hit the boards? Do you rebound? Are you a 3-point shooter or alley-oop guy? What is your specialty on the hardwood?
Normally do all of it.
There you go. That's exactly the way it ought to be. That's the way it ought to be. Be Monster Man. Be Michael Jordan, by God.
He ran the
King James.
Point, that's right. He ran point guard. But tell him who your favorite player is in basketball, NBA.
Stephen Curry.
Oh.
Stephen Curry. Wow. Well, I think of you and a lot of people. Stephen didn't pull it off this last time. You know why? I think he pulled back a little bit because King James deserved it. I think Cleveland and King James needed that, and Stephen knows that he's got plenty of time to bring home a few championships. I think he sort of lightened up on him a little.
Yeah, I think so too, don't you? LeBron just took him. What do you think?
Yeah.
Because you were watching that game, weren't you, Shafer?
Yeah.
And what shirt did you have on?
Your
Stephen Curry. Yeah, you did, because you had on. What number is he? What number is he?
30.
30.
30. All right. You know, that's the way that we actually used to remember phone numbers back a long time ago. My phone number in high school was Dick Butkus, Larry Zonka. I know that doesn't mean anything to you, Shafer, but it means something to you. Do you remember the numbers? 5139. It was whatever our area code was at the time, 404. Is that my phone? I cannot believe that. That is, if I was a guest, I'd be all over that. I'd be over them like white on rice. I can't believe that.
Turn off my phone.
That's usually not even in here. Now, who's calling me? Somebody's calling me to say Dick Buckets, 5139. Now, so anyway, you look good. You sound good. This disease, though, it was the first time I'd ever heard about it. It was your first visit in here. You had a very different expression on your face too. It was. One of excitement, but also the concern was very, very, very close to the surface.
Very much, Jeff. You know, the reality is Shafer is a miracle. Vanderbilt told us that they don't use the M word. And I said, please tell me you're not referring to miracle in that fashion. And they said, we prefer to say as medical scientists a medical marvel or a medical mystery. But they did a 7-page feature story on him, Jeff, 2 months after transplant. Right here it is. And they titled that Days of Miracle and Wonder.
Well, by gosh. Then they came off of that little rule of thumb, didn't they?
Yes, the editor, I never will forget the day the editor called me and said, you know, we have a board of MDs that have to approve every single word in all of the articles. And it was a unanimous decision to put Shafer on the cover, and it was a unanimous decision to use the word miracle for the first time in 30 years in a publication.
Well, here's one of the things, again, and we'll kind of be running a lot of, there's a reason they're in here today, and we'll talk about that before we go to the first break here in just a second. But one of the miracles is the fact that you'd be amazed how seldom family members are not exactly the go-to demographic for transplants. You would think that it would make perfect sense that the family members would share all this, but really they don't. And they have a little checklist of things that have to match up. And the fact that the mother of a child had pretty much 100% of the yes matches, may be an OTO, a one-time only.
Yes, it is so rare. There was no more of a chance of me being a perfect 6-inch match than someone on the other side of the world just randomly, Jeff.
Sure.
And that's the fingerprints of God. You know, our faith has been a big stronghold for us as we've walked through this, because we know that, you know, when we were given the grim news, we were here at T.C. Thompson's, and obviously the doctors were doing a great job. We love the doctors. We believe they were guiding us as best as they knew how, and wanted us to unplug him and take him on to the infant unit hospice. We just said, no, we're going to hold on. You know, we believed that we needed a gap, Jeff, and we were faithful, and for whatever reason, Shafer has been given an extension, and I don't understand why some children go early and some get to stay, but we're going to live in that miracle. We're going to take good care of him, and he's here to share today. You know, he just wants to say thank you. Shafer said, Mommy, can I please just say thank you, because the last 5 weeks we've been raising funds for him. Shafer's medical expenses are enormous. We have great insurance, but every year we have $15,000 to $20,000 out of pocket for his medications. And Shafer, he wanted to say something.
Shafer, yeah, fire it up.
Fire it up, baby. This is your chance.
It's your microphone. Rock the mic, bud.
Thank you for raising money for me so I can stay alive more and for my medicines. And I like to do a bunch of fun stuff because I got to celebrate. I got to go to Whitestone. I got to throw the first pitch
at the Lookouts.
Did you actually get it across the plate?
Yes.
Well, you know what? You did better than I did then, because I dusted up the corner, and they have never let me forget that. Nah, I think I would have got the guy. I think I'd have got him swinging on the low outside pitch, but it did dust up the outer corner, and which means that I didn't really get it across the home base. And boy, the people around here have been mean to me about it either. Rag arm. Good for you. What else?
So we went to the car wash with Mr. Chuck.
We went to the car wash, and that's when I got to give out some cards, and I got to write my name on it.
Very cool.
And the T-shirts. He was signing some T-shirts. We made some great T-shirts, Jeff. We actually...
5 is for...
That's 5 is for 5
5
years of the kidney.
old.
We have the 5-year kidney. He actually is 6, but he got the kidney when he was 1.
The kidney that's keeping him alive that you gave him is 5.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah, I was going to say it's like my liver is actually 107. Because of all the wear and tear and the dog years that I put on it, even though I'm only 55. Sometimes it works like that. Well, congratulations to you guys. That's the coolest thing.
Well, I think one of the things we want to communicate with this celebration, it's not just about Shafer. When I had some friends approach me, Jeff, about, this is a 5-year celebration, it's hard to raise money. Everybody needs something. There's tons of sick children. There's a subculture of families that need help. We wanted people to celebrate their families. So kind of the essence of this is to celebrate your own family and honor Shafer. Take some pictures, post to his Facebook. It's just Shafer Daves, ShaferDaves, Shafer Daves. Post to his Facebook kind of what you're doing to celebrate your family. And then if you want to post, as you post those things and remember your family, you can drop a donation by any of the area Little Caesars. We have 23 boxes, Jeff, Northwest Georgia, Chattanooga, and Cleveland. They have been so gracious to sponsor this campaign. And those boxes, believe it or not, we counted the money and also the East Ridge Car Wash. There was over $600 in the one at the East Ridge Car Wash the other day. $600 goes a long way to help us each month buy his medications.
And the thing is, you're not asking for somebody to go above and beyond. You're asking them to say, all right, we're going to go to Lake Winnie, but instead of doing, 5 chili dogs, we're only going to do 3 chili dogs. And we're going to take that money and we're going to put it in this pocket. And at the end of the day, when everybody's given up, instead of doing 3 funnel cakes, only do 2 funnel cakes, we're going to take that money that we saved by going just trimming a little bit, and we're going to donate it.
That's right. And, a little bit makes, I've heard that thing, change really is change. So your change in those drop boxes or those few dollars adds up to keep Shafer alive. I tell people these little cards, put those, on your refrigerator, in your devotion book, in your Bible, to be reminded, kind of like compassion when you support a child each month, Jeff, and you say, I'm sending so much money to that child.
Sure.
This is a fraction, but this lets you know you are literally helping sustain Shafer. Without his immunosuppression drugs, without his feeding tube, Shafer would not be with us.
And I think that's just a wonderful way to do it, too. And the thing is I can see Sally Struthers now, talking about for just, it's usually 79 cents a day. And Saturday Night Live did a wonderful skit about that one time. But 79 cents? What the hell? 79 cents? I want $49 a day. I'm holding this guy hostage. $49 a day. But you'll keep this. You're not keeping that kid alive. You're helping. But, this really is direct.
Yes.
You can, here he is.
Yes.
Here's Shafer. Here's where he's going to be later on next week if you want to go say hi.
That's right.
And see what your small contributions have been able to do.
Well, I think so. He's kind of been tagged the Chattanooga Miracle, Jeff, and I believe that that's really important for us because we have a really tight loyal community. We have folks, Roan Regency in the past has done incredible things for us with the money that they collect for, watch batteries. They've donated that. Little Caesars Pizza have donated thousands of dollars to help us. East Ridge Car Wash, Jeff, the other day, they raised thousands of dollars with the proceeds from a car wash. Chuck Grant and the folks at East Ridge Car Wash. Do you think they have to do that? No. They want to get behind a Chattanooga kid that's walking and talking the streets, eating at restaurants, playing in our parks, and saying, guys, your dollars are helping keep him alive. And we are a family that love this community, and we just wanted to say thank you because Shafer is doing well, even though his kidney function is down to 40%, Jeff. And we do know that we will have to repeat and do another transplant. That's coming in the near future.
And you can't afford to give another one.
I can't give another one. So it may be someone in this community that would come together and say, you know what, I want to be tested to be the donor.
Bill B. Lockaby, the man what has to command microphones, actually Bill Lockhart, who was our program director for a long time, stepped down a few years ago. Kevin West stepped up. Bill didn't leave. This was his choice. He wanted less stress. Now Kevin is in Afghanistan for a year. We talked to him this morning for the first time. And Bill is back on the job. Now, right now, he's taking some vacation time. He actually tested and was able to give a kidney. The plan was to give it to his significant other, but the match didn't take, but he still gave a kidney for somebody.
Wow.
He had already committed, and somebody is alive today because of one of Bill's kidneys. Now, the same thing that happened to my liver probably happened to his, but, the more you drink, the better your kidneys do. So, actually, it's kind of a swap-off. So he had probably a pretty good kidney there.
Well, it's hard to believe, really, that it's almost like we have a spare. And there is a program now, Jeff, that's an exchange program. So if you don't have the right match for your significant one or your loved one, you can go into these exchange programs where you give a kidney that goes to someone else, and they're giving a kidney that will match for your person. So it's phenomenal that this is the way God made us. The fact that you can put an adult kidney into a 1-year-old child absolutely blows my mind, and I will never ever wake up without giving gratitude.
All right, real quick, couple of questions, and I know we've got to fly. The acronym CODA for ShaferD.com. What does CODA stand for again?
CODA is Children's Organ Transplant Association. So that is the organization, the 501c3, the national organization that holds the accounts for children like Shafer that's had a life-saving transplant. So money that's given to that, and we've had corporations even call and say, can we give like $2,000, for a tax credit? Yes. We have a way to do that through the CODA website, CODA for Shafer D. You can go on there. You can do it online. You can send a check in. And this money goes straight to his account. It doesn't go to help all the other 900 children. It goes directly to Shafer's account. So you're able to give directly to Shafer and also use this as a tax exempt opportunity for those that need to do that.
Is there a particular event that is coming up that people need to know about?
We've had several events, and really now the event is a non-event. The event is, we don't want to sell you a ticket. We don't want you to come and spend $50 with us. We want you to spend that money on your family, trim the cost just barely, then drop that excess in a box at one of the area Little Caesars, or you can do an online donation through CODAforShaferD.com.
Well, here's the deal. Now, before I wrap it up here, and I want to make sure that everybody understands. First of all, Shafer, has anybody ever told you that you look like a young actor? He's not as young anymore, named Haley Joel Osment. Have you ever heard that name before?
No.
He's been in a bunch of movies. It's been a long time. He was a child actor. I knew his dad very well. We went to college together. His dad was a dashingly good-looking guy. He was the absolute star of our theater department and fine arts department. I was kind of Mr. Radio. One of the people coming by who's Mr. TV at the same college was there at the same time. His name was Michael Osment. He was extremely talented. And I went to see a horror movie. I didn't know it was going to be as scary as it was. It was the first time that we'd ever seen a movie by this guy named M. Night Shyamalan. It was called Sixth Sense. And you don't need to be seeing Sixth Sense because it was scary. But I noticed the name Osment, and I started looking at him going, wow, I wonder. And I called down to West Georgia College, now State University of West Georgia, and found out, sure enough, that was his son. Wow. And he went on to be in Steven Spielberg's AI, Artificial Intelligence. He was in a movie you could see called Young Lions, which you would actually enjoy very much. But you look very much like him.
Wow. Well, that's exciting because, Jeff, there just may be a movie in the making with this story. Absolutely. It's a little early, but we are in conversation. So if that happens, who knows? Who may play Shafer one day?
If you need me to play the talk radio host who helps advertise, stuff, I could do that. I'd be willing to do that.
That'd be great.
I would do it for the full salary, but I'd donate half of it back.
Oh, wow. Well, you never know. I think the way that God has sustained Shafer through generous givings, you just never know. We've had conversations with folks about a book. There's miracle after miracle after miracle embedded into this story. I mean, Jeff, there's just so many cool things. Our coolest thing is when we see the Shafer trucks. There are Shafer trucks that always remind us, because when he was being transported, he was not expected to live. On the way there, Bill Gaither, actually of Gaither Music, did a story.
The Gaither family.
The Gaither family in Gaither Homecoming Magazine did a story about Shafer that was written by Squire Rushnell, which writes best-selling books. Shafer is actually chapter 17 in that book, Jeff. And it talked about when we were transporting him to Nashville, Jeff, we had 2 Shafer trucks. I'm telling you, it's no lie. 2 Shafer trucks on each side of the ambulance, almost like angelic wings, carrying him all the way to Vandy, and that is the gospel truth.
I want to tell you something. This is the truth, too. Now, the name of this book that she just handed me is the New York Times best-selling book, and it didn't hurt that Oprah made it the book of the month, God Winks stories.
That's right.
And that's a phrase that I use all the time.
That's right.
I've had, in the last 5 to 6 years of my life, I've had numerous God Winks. And God's funny like this. God has a sense of humor. He also can be somewhat impatient at times. He has the patience more than anybody, but sometimes it gets kind of tired if you don't pay attention, and it can become a God shove or a God boot in your butt if that's what it takes. And I've gotten a couple of those too, but I'm a big believer and messages coming to you, and you need to be your eyes open and your ears open and paying attention so you don't miss that little God wink.
That's right.
And I'm a big believer in this. I really am.
Well, Squire Rushnell's become a very, very close friend of ours. He's a supporter. He and his wife, Louise, they give to Shafer's Fund. Writing these stories, you know, he actually has a feature on Hoda and Kathy's show, and Shafer is one that's in the hopper to be featured on the Today Show. It's just not come up yet. And so these...
Stay away from the wine. Stay away from the wine glass. Don't let them get you drinking so early in the morning.
Well, we are just so thankful, and we continue to see God in all of this. You know, his surgeon, what's the chance, Jeff, that the surgeon that put my kidney in Shafer, his name is Dr. Shafer.
How about that?
How about that? So another God wink, and we could talk to you for hours about all these situations, but it's not coincidence. People try to say, oh, that's happenstance.
All right, real quick, Shafer, very quickly, this is important. This is not Hefe's, that's my nickname, Make-A-Wish Foundation, but is there anything that you would really like to do that is doable around here that you've not had a chance to do? Maybe do some whitewater rafting or go for a hang gliding flight or something like that? Anything of that nature?
No.
Give some thought to it. Because I happen to be, well, I'm broke. I work in radio, but I have a lot of friends who do a lot of cool little adventures. And if you have a little adventure bone and you get some excitement, and that means something to you, I might be able to help you out, okay?
Oh, wow. Well, we'll tell Mr. Jeff, to be continued. We'll get back with him and think about that, okay?
All right.
Does that sound cool? Well, his Make-A-Wish was a Mickey Mouse treehouse in our backyard. So he loves Mickey. I do know that, and we've done that. So we'll think of something local that might be a fun adventure for him.
I could absolutely hook you up with that. Now, here you go. I'm going to Nightfall tonight, and I'll be down there hanging out with the Kelly Cars people, who are good people, and be the first time I've been back down there since the week before Riverbend. And I was going to buy 2 extra salty pretzels and 2 lemonades, and instead I'm just going to buy 1 extra salty pretzel and 1 lemonade, and I'm going to get the smaller one on ice and not the big frozen one. So I wanted to just make that little bitty donation right there, if you would, please.
Jeff,
just a tiny little donation. Since I'm handing out money anyway today.
Well, Jeff, that is so sweet.
Might as well go ahead and just pass a little away.
Handing out, we're going to leave here and go down to Children's Hospital where it all began, Jeff, and we're going to go hand out some of these T-shirts. We're going to donate. Some of these families are in the hospital this weekend instead of having fireworks and ice cream.
Yeah.
We're going to go down and brighten some other families' day that are not knowing what's going to happen with their child.
Absolutely.
And we're going to take them a shirt from Shafer. So we've worked it out with the PR folks, and we're going to go down and take some shirts, and we're going to celebrate as we leave.
Well, just that young man in that lime green shirt and that smile on his face will be what they need to see more than anything else.
That's right, Jeff.
I'm so glad that you swung by, and I'm so glad that you're doing so well. And you let me know. You start thinking about it. And you know what? Your mom's going to say, oh, I don't know about that. You just call me. Call me. We'll work it out, okay?
Well, keep in touch with us. Schaefer Daves on Facebook or COTA, COTAFORSHAFERD.com. COTA for SchaeferD.com. Thank you so much, Jeff.
I appreciate it. 10:35. I know, Gene, that probably puts you behind the 8 ball, too. Do what you got to do. WGOW FM, Saudi Daisy, Chattanooga Talk Radio 102.3.
Want to talk? This is the place. Not the passive medium. This is the one that reacts and interacts. This is Talk Radio 102.3 FM. WGOW.com. The Talk Monster.
Do you know social